Hey guys, welcome back to the Candle Channel. Today on the Candle Channel, we are going to be reviewing the 14.5 ounce 3-wick Pumpkin Spice Latte candle from Bath & Body Works, part of the White Barn Pour collection for 2021. It has the low profile lid on it. And I believe this one did not have a fishy or dirty lid, so we're good to go there. The notes read pumpkin pie spice, freshly brewed espresso, homemade whipped cream, and a sprinkling of cinnamon and sugar. I do have to say I really enjoy the smooth matte finish of this jar, and it's not doing any of the scratching or flaking, so I'm happy about that. So this fragrance came out last year. It was in that buffalo plaid wraparound label that was quite cute. But once again, I wasn't buying so many candles last summer or fall, so I never picked it up. But every time I smelled it in store, it was just so immensely similar to the Ciao Bella Sweet Tiramisu that came out in 2019, I believe in the summertime, is what this was. And this one reads whipped sweet cream, vanilla sponge cake, and fresh brewed Italian espresso. They're so immensely similar. Even to this day, I'm like, is there really a difference there? I don't know if this is the power of suggestion of this saying pumpkin spice, and because it's an orange packaging that I may be imagining a pumpkin spice fragrance. But I even burned the two, like I burned one, blew it out, and then left the room, and then waited a little bit, and then a few hours later, I then lit up Sweet Tiramisu in that same room, and it literally smelled exactly the same. But when I smelled this on cold, I feel like maybe, possibly, I get a little bit more pumpkin pie spice in there, but I really can't say that with confidence. But in any case, what does it smell like? So yeah. Fast forwarding to the Ciao Bella Sweet Tiramisu, I ragged on this first because I didn't really enjoy the fact that there wasn't a huge presence of the espresso or coffee note in there. If you smell espresso, there's very much a bold roasty component to it that is unmistakably coffee or espresso. And Paris Cafe is definitely more in the route of being a undeniably coffee fragrance. Like you smell that and that is coffee without a doubt. You smell this, and there's maybe an implied coffee note and a slight roasty creaminess that might evoke like the International Delights variety of coffee that uses Arabica beans or whatever, and it's really milky. And it kind of evokes canned coffee or the International Delights coffee, but it's not truly a roasting of espresso beans at the coffee house by any means. And so this definitely has more of that sort of milky, imitation coffee, so to speak, feel to it that has an implied espresso note, but it didn't really smell like true espresso. Like when you eat tiramisu, there's the lady fingers on the bottom that are absolutely soaked in espresso, and I love that smell and taste of it. This didn't quite give me that, but it did give me a lot of the top layers of the tiramisu with the heavy cream and the the sponge cake element in there. It gave me all of that. And so once I looked past the fact that this was supposed to be a coffee or a tiramisu fragrance, I actually really ended up enjoying it because it was just this nice, unique twist on a vanilla bakery fragrance that was different from your run-of-the-mill generic vanilla bean marshmallow, vanilla bean, or frosted cupcake. It had a different, a distinctly dairy heavy cream component to it, and it just made me want to bite into a nice cold scoop of tiramisu, and I really enjoy that. And it was this nice cakey plus slightly roasty extra baking feel, something that was just really nice, and I actually really grew to appreciate this fragrance, and I actually ended up buying a lot of backups of it and enjoy it all year round, just when I'm in the mood for something bakery and vanilla with a little bit something extra that I really enjoy. And so I actually really grew to enjoy this. So the fragrance itself I actually really enjoy despite what the marketing or the notes say. So now moving on to Pumpkin Spice Latte, it's pretty much the same fragrance. To me, I get the same creaminess of that heavy cream, and I think that heavy cream in this case probably translates into being the latte component of it being creamer or half and half or milk. And I think that's what the heavy cream of the tiramisu layer translates into it being the milk or dairy component of the latte that you would get here. And then the same sort of roasty, slightly bakery note comes off as obviously espresso in this, and you get that in there as well. And yeah, once again, it's not as truly bold as Paris Cafe, but it has the same coffee-ish quality as an International Delights coffee, or as much coffee as whipped coffee has, where it's sort of you spilled coffee on the counter and you smell the residue of it, rather than freshly brewed espresso beans being brewed right in front of you in a coffee house. So there's that distinction there, but mixed with the milkiness, it does kind of evoke a latte or coffee with milk feel to it, and you get that in there. And then it says pumpkin spice. I guess maybe they could be 90 to 95% the same, but the 5 to 10% difference is that maybe this one has a little bit more amped up pumpkin pie spice note in there. It's creamy. It's pleasant. It's not anywhere near as spicy as, like, for example, pumpkin clove or sweet cinnamon pumpkin. Like, you smell this is undeniably like craft store Michael's pumpkin like pie, pumpkin spice type of feel to it. You get the cinnamon and the ginger and the clove in there. It's very strong and apparent. This, the pumpkin spice note, isn't that apparent, but there's maybe a little bit of like a nutmeggy, creamy pumpkin that could maybe be equated most similarly to the pumpkin pie or pumpkin vanilla creme variety of pumpkin spice, where it's more creamy, sweet, and bakery rather than spicy like broomsticks or Michael's craft store experience. And that's the type of pumpkin spice I get in here, but it's maybe once again like a 5 to 10% difference of what the sweet tiramisu was. But even then, I can't quite say that with confidence, because when I still smell them and when I burn them side by side, they virtually smell the same. So I don't know if it's a power suggestion thing, but I'm just putting it out there. And that's what this smells like. I think if you've never smelled sweet tiramisu and you didn't have that like tainting your mind, so to speak, and you didn't have that preconceived like notion of it being sweet tiramisu, I think you could probably smell this and get on board with it and say it smells like pumpkin spice latte and kind of go on board with it. But like, I guess in an ideal world, I would want more of a bold, roasty Paris Cafe type of coffee experience mixed with more of a true pumpkin spice fragrance in the route of sweet cinnamon pumpkin or pumpkin clove, and somehow merge the two together, add a little bit of creaminess, and that I feel like would be more like quintessentially and undeniably pumpkin spice latte than this variation does. But it's nitpicking, or, you know, it is what it is. So I guess it could potentially smell like pumpkin spice latte, but for me, it will always be sweet tiramisu with a 5 to 10% difference of a pumpkin spice note. And that's what that smells like. I think if you don't enjoy Paris Cafe because it's too bold, too roasty, and too strong and too intense, you might still enjoy this one because there's still heaps of that like heavy creaminess mixed with like the whipped cream component of what might be in a tiramisu, but then translates into being a latte, that you might still enjoy this one because it's not so heavily intense as Paris Cafe. But if you're a true coffee lover who just loves a bold, roasty coffee fragrance in the vein of Paris Cafe, I don't think you will be as satisfied with pumpkin spice latte because it's a little bit more creamy and watered down and milky than Paris Cafe is. So that was pretty much my review on pumpkin spice latte. Oh, let's go into the performance before I forget about that. This one, I believe I burned about 5 or 6 times. It has the thick rope-like wicks. It burns just like sweet tiramisu and performs just like it with the same rope-like wicks and everything, which is very curious, but it performed fine. It does have a little bit of black, murky swirl that probably won't pick up on camera. Oh, there we go. You can see some of it there, but nothing too bad. It does so if you don't trim it enough, so keep that in mind. On the very first burn, it had a rather slow burn, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna dud out. But on that one, I made sure to just burn it for 4 hours, and then it finally kind of evened out and the wick got much longer, and then after that, it's been fine. I just trim very minimally the small little nubs at the top, but don't trim these too much because they will nub out, and it was fine there. As for the throw, it was pretty much on par with sweet tiramisu. I would say it was like a 6 to, I would say even maybe a 7, like a medium to a medium plus. When I put it in a smaller bedroom, I could definitely smell it. It was like up to a 7, in a larger bedroom about a 6, and then an open concept area, it was at a 5. So anywhere from like a 5 to a 7, medium to medium plus is what I got from the throw. And I think that is pretty much it. So yes, thanks so much for watching. Let me know your comments down below on what you feel of pumpkin spice latte. Do you think it's the same as sweet tiramisu? Would you rather have more of a coffee fragrance, or are you totally fine and content with what this smells like as it is? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.